The first 60 minutes of your day are the most important 60 minutes of your day, not because of productivity, not because of hustle culture or 5 a.m. wake-up calls, because of biology. What you do in the first hour after waking up sets your cortisol rhythm, your dopamine baseline, your circadian clock, and your cognitive capacity for the entire rest of the day. Get it right, and everything that follows is easier. Your focus is sharper, your mood is more stable, your energy lasts longer, your decisions are better. Get it wrong, and you spend the rest of the day fighting your own biology. Most people get it wrong, not because they're lazy, because nobody ever told them what the science actually says about how the human brain and body wake up. That changes today. Let's talk about the morning most people actually have. The alarm goes off. You hit snooze once, twice, maybe 3 times. When you finally get up, the first thing you reach for is your phone. You check messages, you scroll. Maybe you check the news, you see something stressful, your cortisol spikes, you stumble to the kitchen and drink coffee, often before you've had any water, before you've been in sunlight, before your adenosine has cleared. You eat something fast or nothing at all. You rush to wherever you need to be, already behind, already stressed. By 9 a.m., your nervous system is already in a state of low-grade activation. Your dopamine baseline has already been hijacked by your phone. Your cortisol, instead of following its natural curve, has been artificially spiked and is now beginning to crash. You wonder why you feel foggy, irritable, and unmotivated by midday. This is not a willpower problem. This is a biology problem, and it has a biology solution. To understand why mornings matter so much, you need to understand 3 biological systems that reset every single day, and are most sensitive in the first hour after waking. System 1. The Cortisol Awakening Response. Within 30 minutes of waking, your body experiences a natural surge in cortisol, called the Cortisol Awakening Response, or CAR. This is not the stress cortisol you want to avoid. This is the energizing cortisol that prepares your brain and body for the demands of the day. It sharpens your focus, it mobilizes energy, it activates your immune system. It is, in many ways, your body's natural pre-workout. The problem is that most people immediately suppress or hijack this response. Checking your phone the moment you wake up floods your brain with social information and perceived threats, triggering a stress cortisol spike on top of the natural CAR. Instead of a clean, energizing rise in cortisol, you get a chaotic hormonal spike that burns out quickly and leaves you crashing by mid-morning. The fix is simple. Let the CAR happen undisturbed. No phone, no news, no email. Give your cortisol 30 minutes to do its job before you introduce any external stimulation. System 2, the circadian clock. Your circadian rhythm is a 24-hour biological clock that regulates virtually every system in your body: sleep, energy, digestion, immune function, hormone production, and mood. This clock is set primarily by light, specifically by the wavelength and intensity of natural sunlight entering your eyes in the morning. When you expose your eyes to natural sunlight within 30 to 60 minutes of waking, you send a powerful signal to your suprachiasmatic nucleus, the master clock in your brain, that the day has begun. This does 4 things simultaneously. It triggers the appropriate cortisol peak. It sets a timer for melatonin release approximately 12 to 14 hours later, meaning better sleep that night. It elevates serotonin levels, which improves mood, focus, and impulse control throughout the day. And it synchronizes your metabolic processes, improving digestion, energy metabolism, and blood sugar regulation. Conversely, spending your morning under artificial indoor light delays your circadian signal, keeping your body in a state of biological uncertainty about what time it is. The result is lower energy, worse mood, and disrupted sleep the following night. 10 minutes of outdoor sunlight within the first hour of waking. That is all it takes. System 3. The dopamine baseline. Your morning sets your dopamine baseline for the entire day. Dopamine is not released when you experience pleasure. It is released in anticipation of reward. When you wake up and immediately reach for your phone, you spike dopamine artificially. Your brain receives a fast, high-intensity reward before the day has even started. From that point forward, everything that follows, your work, your relationships, your meals, your conversations, will feel less rewarding by comparison. Your brain has already set its expectation bar too high. In contrast, if you begin your morning with low-stimulation activities, movement, sunlight, a quiet meal, intentional thought, your dopamine system remains sensitive. Small pleasures feel good. Focus comes naturally. Motivation builds gradually, the way it was designed to. Your morning routine is, in a very real sense, a dopamine management strategy. Think about the last time you had what felt like a genuinely good day. Chances are it started differently than most days. Maybe you woke up naturally, without an alarm. Maybe you had time to move around before rushing anywhere. Maybe you had a slow cup of coffee and some quiet before the noise started. That feeling, that sense of being grounded, capable, clear-headed, wasn't luck. It was biology. Your cortisol curve was undisturbed. Your circadian clock received its light signal. Your dopamine baseline was protected. The good news is that you don't need to be lucky to have more mornings like that. You need to be intentional. And the science tells us exactly what that intention should look like. Here is the science-backed morning routine. It takes between 45 and 60 minutes. It requires no expensive equipment, and it is built entirely around the 3 biological systems we just discussed. Step 1. No phone for the first 30 minutes. This is the single highest impact change you can make. Place your phone across the room or in another room entirely before you sleep. When you wake up, do not touch it for at least 30 minutes. This protects your cortisol awakening response, prevents a premature dopamine spike, and gives your prefrontal cortex time to come fully online before it is bombarded with social information. This will feel uncomfortable at first. That discomfort is your dopamine system recalibrating. It is a good sign. Step 2. Hydrate before caffeine. Your body loses approximately 500 ml of water during sleep through breathing and perspiration. Before you drink coffee, before you do anything else, drink a large glass of water, ideally with a pinch of salt and a squeeze of lemon to restore electrolytes. Dehydration, even mild dehydration of 1 to 2%, measurably impairs cognitive function, mood, and energy. Coffee on a dehydrated brain is like trying to start an engine without oil. Hydrate first. Step 3. Sunlight within 60 minutes. Get outside within the first hour of waking. You don't need direct sunlight. Even overcast outdoor light is 10 to 50 times brighter than indoor lighting and sufficient to trigger your circadian clock. Walk to the end of your street and back. Drink your coffee outside. Stand on your balcony. Even 5 minutes is better than 0. 10 minutes is ideal. Do not wear sunglasses during this window. Your eyes need to receive the light signal directly. Step 4. Move your body. Physical movement in the morning, even light movement, elevates BDNF, increases blood flow to the prefrontal cortex, and metabolizes any residual cortisol or adrenaline from sleep. This does not have to be a full workout. 10 minutes of walking, stretching, or bodyweight movement is sufficient to produce measurable improvements in morning cognition and mood. The goal is circulation, not exhaustion. Step 5. Delay caffeine by 90 minutes. This one surprises people. Caffeine works by blocking adenosine receptors in your brain, adenosine being the chemical that makes you feel sleepy. But here's the critical detail. Adenosine is still clearing from your system for the first 60 to 90 minutes after waking. If you drink coffee during this window, you are blocking receptors that adenosine hasn't fully occupied yet. You get a smaller effect and a harder crash later. Wait 90 minutes after waking to have your first coffee. Your afternoon energy levels will improve significantly. Your morning is not just the start of your day, it is the foundation that every other hour is built on. The cortisol that fuels you, the circadian signal that regulates you, the dopamine baseline that motivates you, all of it is set in the first 60 minutes. You don't need to overhaul your entire life. Start with one step. Tomorrow morning, don't touch your phone for 30 minutes. Just that. See what it does to the rest of your day. If this video gave you something useful, share it with someone whose mornings look like the one we described at the start, and subscribe to Vital Drift. Every week, we decode what modern life is doing to your body and mind, and give you the science to take it back. See you in the next one.